With 30 names in this, we'll go half and half. Hats off to the young man from Essendon who's taken off here to lead proceedings.
Hi, Davis, but we'll get to his name.
We'll get there. From the top, in our E-race tonight, Shane Holt of Box Hill, Greg Steele, Melbourne University, Michael Bishop of Mornington Peninsula, Daniel Clark of South Melbourne, David Lawson of Richmond Harriers, Will Pratt, Mornington Peninsula, Jai Farrar, Mornington Peninsula, Charlie McSwain, Sandringham Athletics Club, Daniel Sire, Melbourne Uni, Richard Dorr, Mornington Peninsula, Daniel Bunworth, Western Athletics, Justin Curran, Old Zaverians, John Curry of Doncaster Athletic Club, Damien Cusack of Diamond Valley, Matthew Thompson, also of Diamond Valley, and Michael, next 15 are yours.
Thank you very much, Sean. And we have Andrew Stevens of Melbourne University, Rob Grummett of Mentone, Charles Sutherland of Glen Huntly, Daniel Rees of Williamstown, Paul Viney of Collingwood, Jonathan Little from Richmond. Also from Richmond is Brad Wood, Dustin Bianaki of Melbourne University, Abdi Haji Ali of Western Athletics, Gary Murphy of Victorian Masters Athletics Club, Bruce Thomas of Mentone, Joshua Simons of Collingwood, Ty Davies, who has just come through the 600 metre mark of Essendon, Ross Pentland of South Melbourne, and Peter Gaffney from Keilor St Bernard's to round out the field of 30 athletes in our last of 7 races at the Victorian 5 kilometre championship. Sean Whipp.
Davies has absolutely taken off here, but in the lead from Western Athletics, we've got the young Abdulaziz Haji Ali. And with a personal best of 18 minutes, he's well ahead of pace. But you've got to compliment the candour and the valour that this young man is approaching his 12.5 lap journey with, Michael.
Yeah, you never know where that 18-minute time has come from as well with these younger athletes.
Possibly
sometimes,
an estimate.
Well, yeah, it could be an estimate. It could be a one-off race. It's hard to master that 5K race. So with
2:35 through 800 metres.
Quite quick.
We've just had Abdi's coach, the legend of the sport, Peter Burke, pop over and mention it's the young man's first time over the 12.5 lap distance. So probably look for 5 laps at this pace. But look, got to give it to him. He's having a crack here. Abdi not mucking around here, has put a gap in early. Davies looking strong.
So if I do my running maths again, we're on about 16 minutes and 15 second pace for the 2 leaders here, which is well ahead of their seeded time. So we'll see how the boys go into the race as we see Jonathan Little of Richmond coming through in about 3 minutes 30. Ross Pentland of South Melbourne just got a massive cheer from the crowd here at Box Hill.
Big crowd, big crowd.
If you're watching at home, I'm surprised you're not hearing cheers in the background.
Abdi has continued on this pace, not fazed by the sage warnings of Peter Burke. He's pushing into the great unknown, and look, this is what we love to see in the lower heats. It's people learning the distance and just taking that leap into the possible abyss.
Probably a few park runners out here as well, and the 12.5 laps around a 400 metre track. I don't know, I'd rather be on a nice park run course personally, but a bit of a mental battle, I think.
Oh, look, we're open for all formats of racing here at Athletics Victoria, but for the purists here, we do love the good old-fashioned 400-metre tartan track. And it is our lone 2 warriors out the front continuing here. The exuberance of youth has not been dampened by the current set of laps. Definitely a chase group of, look, I'll call it 5, and it is 5.
Charlie McSwain of Sandringham amongst them, spelt differently to the Stewie McSwain we all know.
Obviously following in his hero's footsteps, though.
By being named the same as him.
Not sure if that was a pre-planned occurrence, Michael, but look, we love similarities here when we're trying to pick up on a thing or two in these lower heats. Fascinating to see the number of paired up entries from clubs here. Plenty of Mornington Peninsula, Collingwood, Mentone, Diamond Valley, Western Athletics. It's all happening.
You reckon there's a bit of if you do it, I'll do it type thing going on?
Oh,
getting the car together.
A lot of first-time 5K attemptees, I suspect, on the track. Good to see a real mix of athletes out here.
And hats off to them. It's not an easy distance. 12 and a half laps, lap after lap, trying to keep it consistent. And if you're lucky, a strong finish.
I'm still in possession of one iPhone, additionally to my own. So if you've lost one, feel free to pop over to the finish line and try your luck on the passcode. If not, it will be at the Athletics Victoria office, where you can call 8646 4500 and see if you can come in and pick it up.
So Jonathan Little of Richmond, Charlie McSwain, Daniel Clark of South Melbourne, all in that next pack there. Our athletes from Mornington and a teammate from Richmond also in the mix. David Lawson, I believe, from Richmond, bookending that front pack. So 6 minutes and 40 seconds for Abdi from Western Apps right at the front. Also Ty Davies of Essendon. So 16:40 would lend itself to a... Sorry, 6:40. 2K would lend itself to a 16:40 5,000 metre time. So the pace hasn't slowed too much in this second K, actually. It is a tough gig running by yourself right at the front of the field. We'll see what this second pack can do, bouncing off each other as laps progress. So Abdi from Western Apps, 2.2 kilometres completed. Ty Davies of Essendon closely following. That gap of about 10 metres has stayed the same for much of the race so far.
And at this point, Abdi has exceeded Berkey's expectations. He's passed the 5-lap barrier. We're into uncharted territory here. So who knows? Berkey could be onto yet another winner in his big stall of middle distance superstars.
Usually Berkey's spot on. I'm surprised by that call, actually.
Good to see a substantial number of Western Athletics members, including Michael, have stuck around to watch the young fella. So hats off to him. Bit of club spirit.
Is Jai Farah, we haven't mentioned yet, from Mornington Peninsula, is in that front pack of athletes, or should we say the second pack, the peloton, should we say, as opposed to the breakaway of Abdi and Ty out the front.
I would encourage any of the lads that are splitting their watch on every single lap
to not.
Probably not. You can always go back through the live stream that'll be available on the Athletics Victoria Facebook page and check your splits if you'd like. But I can understand the personal touch there, possibly for Strava. Got to get the kudos.
So Abdi and Ty just went through the halfway mark in about 8.5 minutes. So about 17-minute 5K pace there for the boys.
The Berkey chartered slip has begun very slightly, but you got to give it to him. Davies going for an aggressive move around the outside here. We've got a bit of a double pass there with lap runners, but Abdi's not done yet. He's regained the lead and is striding down the back straight with great enthusiasm.
David Lawson of Richmond does lead the peloton. Charlie McSwain is right there as well, as is Jonathan Little, his teammate of Richmond. Daniel Clark, South Melbourne, in the pack also. We haven't mentioned the hometown runner of Shane Holt, the athlete from Box Hill, is in the mix in that peloton group as well. Ty Davies through the 3K mark in about 10:11, and Abdi from Western Apps just trailing 5 metres behind.
Now look, Abdi's dropped the head slightly, but look, it's come back up now. He'll be fine, I reckon. He's learning. This is it's a new event, but Mr. Davies out the front looks smooth as butter. I reckon he's done a park run or two in his time. He's got the lovely cadence ticking over there.
That's it. Suck in those deep breaths, Abdi. You can do it.
This will serve him well as he goes on in the more refined parts of his career.
So about 16:50 pace for young Ty Davies out the front. He quoted a time of 18:20 to enter this event. So if he carries on this trend, he'll score about a minute and a half PB or break his seeded time by that much.
Maybe a generous guesstimate there, or a very hilly park run that he's taken that seed time from. So who knows? You get everything here, but you've got a real strung out file here of one of our packs.
That's it. Daniel Bunworth of Western Athletics is making his way through this back end of the field, ticking off, passing athlete by athlete, one by one.
Just putting in a shift there behind both of our Mentone Athletic Club competitors. I believe that may be Rob Grummett and I can't find the other one, Michael.
It'd be Bruce Thomas on our second page with the 26 hip number. As Ty Davies passes another lap. 4 to go for Ty Davies of Essendon, and 4 to go from Abdi of Western Ash as he gets cheers here from the club on the back straight.
He's gritting his teeth, bit of a grin. I think he's seeing the promised land now. 4 laps to go. The end is in sight.
Might be the Kipchoge grin though. He smiles when he's to keep relaxed. He knows what's going on. McSwain coming through in third position here. 4 laps to go, should I say. Sorry, boys.
One to watch. We'll see if McSwain can bring that gap in. He has a continual look at his watch as he passes around onto the back straight under the bright lights of Hagenauer Reserve. Big thanks to Box Hill Athletic Club for hosting this event so capably. Dustin Bianacki of Melbourne University just passing through the start-finish line there, leading a group of 5.
Three laps to go for Ty Davies of Essendon. His legs are ticking over quickly. He's kept the same stride pattern this whole race. Doesn't show any signs of slowing. Well done, Ty.
Our early leader, Abdi, comes through with... I'll wait for the lap scorer. 3 laps to go, I believe.
As Charlie McSwain has him in his sights, the young athlete from Sandringham crosses the line with 3 laps to go, as does David Lawson of Richmond, Jai Farah of Mornington, Daniel Clark of South Melbourne, and Shane Holt of Box Hill, all in that chase pack.
The hometown hero himself.
The peloton on the final stage of the Tour de Box Hill.
And a big shout out to Daniel Rees of Williamstown as well. He's managed to coordinate his racing flat and sock colour. One thing that is tough to do from time to time, but a real nod to the old school approach there.
So Daniel Bunworth, Justin Curran of Old Zavarians. We also have Dustin Bianacki coming through with a few laps to go.
Rob Grummett and Thomas Bruce of Mentone there have worked tirelessly together as a pair. Good to see some club teamwork. And give it up for Ty Davies. He's looking absolutely resplendent in this last few laps here. Form has not broken throughout the entire race.
Resplendent with. That's a new word.
Oh, you've got to roll through your adjectives in the lower races. Abdi is not having it. He's gone the check over the shoulder and he's put the jets on. He's got 2 to go, not 1. Someone tell him.
First 5K race, and he's not done yet.
First
2 laps to
5K,
go, Abdi.
And he's running his own fartlek. Look at him go. That's what you love to see, folks.
Charlie McSwain from Sandringham has had a very, very strong race. Holding that pace, making his way up the field.
McSwain with a determined pace. He'll look to see if he can just keep things steady and drag Abdi back in. But according to the Western Aths boys that are sticking around, this is kind of Abdi's style, just playing it as he sees it.
David Lawson from Richmond as well on the back straight, running very strong as the other three athletes in Box Hill, South Melbourne and Jai Farah of Mornington all follow very closely. 1.5 laps to go for those boys.
If we cast our eyes here to about 50 metres to go up the home straight, we have Ty Davies of Athletics Essendon, who has been absolutely outstanding tonight. 1 lap to go, I believe. There's the bell, and with a personal best of 18:20, I think
See you later, that.
he is going to put a fair margin into that one. So put your hands together for the young fellow when he rolls back round to the finish line.
Charlie McSwain also quoted a time of 19:28 as his PB as he rolls through with 1 lap to go
And
in
he's
16
going to
minutes.
put that to the sword.
He's got about 3 minutes for this last lap.
Come
And
on,
Abdi of
Abdi.
Western
Look
Aths.
at him go.
One last lap, Abdi.
And he lifts. He rises. He hears the commentary.
As we see David Lawson of Richmond Harriers, Shane Holt of Box Hill, Daniel Clark of South Melbourne all come through with 1 lap to go. Jai Farah of Mornington. Damon Cusack of Diamond Valley coming through as well. Where is it? So entering the front straight for the last time is our leader.
Ty Davies of Athletics Essendon. Form looking as fantastic as it did on lap 1. Let's clap him in, guys. What a run. Has absolutely smashed his personal best. He's put a good 70 seconds into it. Good on you, Ty. Great work, mate. And in what has been a back and forth battle for second the entire night, it looks like it's the young, aptly named McSwain from Sandringham that's going to crush his personal best.
By about 2 odd minutes, if you don't mind.
And Abdi on debut, outside the cones, mate, swinging to lane 3. No, he's gone lane 2. He said, I'll do it my way. Almost there.
Well done, Abdi. So,
Oh, and he's run through the seats as well.
There from Western Aths.
He needs a lie down.
David Lawson of Richmond Harriers coming through for a PB as well, as does Shane Holt, Box Hill, Jai Farah from Mornington, Damon Cusack of Diamond Valley, Daniel Clark of South Melbourne, Daniel Sear from Melbourne Uni, the athlete from Williamstown in
Cody Shanahan, the unofficial club captain, comes down to congratulate Abdi on his brave run.
Justin Curran of Old Javarians.
Oh, that'll be close. I reckon he's taken about 5 seconds off his PB there.
Daniel Bunworth of Western Athletics there for just under 18.5 minutes.
Good 50 seconds of a personal best there. And
Paul
Viney, Collingwood, just on his PB there, very close.
Rob Grummett as well from Mentone knocks about 20 seconds off his seed time.
Mentone working together there. They've both absolutely smashed their personal bests.
Matthew Thompson of Diamond Valley coming through for a strong run also. The Masters athlete in Gary Murphy knocks about 50 seconds off his seed time. From Glen Huntley, Charles Sutherland as well. Strong run from Charles the Man in the headband. Richard Dorr from Mornington crossing the line. And close to a PB. Greg Steele of Melbourne University.
Giving it all he's got. And by the cheers in the crowd, possibly a personal best.
By about 40 seconds, Whip, if you don't mind.
As I live and breathe. Awesome to see the post-race recaps here on the sidelines.
Pete Gaffney of Keilor St Bernard's coming through in low 20 minutes.
We'll cheer him over the line here. John Curry, Doncaster Athletics Club. Great work.